Okay. Now, how are you doing? Welcome to Four Stories, Dublin. Paul, Dean.
Dino.
Now, I'd love to be excited.
Oh,
And don't
Liam.
forget about
Liam, we apologise. We haven't forgotten about
cameraman
you.
there, and sometime presenter. Now, we are going to talk about something I'd love to be hyped about, but I'm not.
I was hyped for it. Now, obviously, it's something got to do with our main man, Henry Cavill. So if
We've got The Witcher.
and The Witcher season 3.
Now,
Season
Witcher
3.
season 3 has been released. Now, it's not the complete season. It's 1 to 5.
Part one.
It's
Part one,
part
yeah.
1, part 5. And I am so disappointed with this.
Myself and Paul said, you know what, we'll sit down, we'll give it a watch, and we'll have a talk about it. So we said, you know what, I will. Sat down and watched all the Witchers and all, came up with it. And I have to say, I feel very sorry for Henry Cavill. He tries so hard, but there's only so much he can do with what's put in front of him.
I totally agree with you.
Now, people are still going to
Do you
watch
know
this.
how much work he put into the sword play?
Tell me.
He went off, right? And he had that sword there. And he would constantly go through. Now, he could have just learned the routine, as we know,
Oh, yeah.
and done the routine that day.
Course.
He constantly would have a sword in his office. He would have a sword in his house. He'd be walking through the movement, the way. He put so much effort into it. I believe, I like the character Yennefer. I thought that was a great casting. I thought Henry Cavill, there's certain actors in it I really like.
And there's some in it that's, you're looking at it.
We've had this, it was like when they did with the whole French thing in Vikings. This sadomasochism of getting whipped and all
There was
this
no
with the
need for it.
character. Now, that character that's getting whipped like that, he's actually very good. I've seen him in things,
Yeah.
and he is good. But the story is awful. They have introduced modern ideas
Look,
into a kind of medieval crazy world.
Like a thing you mentioned to me, I didn't take much notice in it. The whole gluten thing.
Gluten-free.
They had to go and eat gluten-free stuff in The Witcher. This is thing that's meant to be back in the medieval times in a sense.
Actually, my missus told me about this. The reason people need to be gluten-free now is because they wash a dye through the wheat, and that's what's causing the problems. So back then, before pre-production, even though it's a fictional world, there was no gluten-free. Do you know, there was never a necessary for it. There was times I was watching it and I was like the 5th episode. My missus loved it because there was a bit of romance in it. I was bored out of me.
I was the same.
They kept going back. It was like, you know, when you see it, it was like a detective thing, and you see at the end like Knives Out, and
Yeah.
at the end they do the big reveal, but they do it in a very quick montage.
Yeah.
It was dragged out.
Of course
dragged out.
But
And I was just like, I was a huge Witcher fan before this, and I loved it. And I like, even when a new Witcher game comes out, I'll even sit there and watch the animations on my phone and the story and the whole lot. And this was terrible. And part of me watching it was saying, I can't take it seriously because I know after this season we're going to get Liam Hemsworth. I don't think it's Liam Hemsworth's fault, but I'm going to look at Liam Hemsworth and go, is he going to kind of be like a cosplay
of Geralt or
of Geralt?
Is he going to be a
It's
whole
just not going
new...
to work.
Like
Imagine Homer Simpson. You're watching The Simpsons and Homer comes in and then they replace you. They replace the character with someone that is sort of similar, but not.
That's not Homer.
That's not Homer, you would say.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think I think it was a great waste. I think the writers. I think if they had got the right writing staff and the right production company behind this would have been so much different.
That's what I was just about
Even
to
the
say.
music sounded modern poppy.
That's
and
what...
I was like, oh, this is awful. And I'm actually liking the characters. I wanted to watch Ciri and him go off and have Witcher adventures.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, my view of it is, I don't think he should have met Ciri till about 3 seasons in. So we actually get to see his whole life.
Yeah.
That was covered.
That was cut short.
That was cut short.
Like, with this season, right, as we said, it was so, everything was so dragged out. Some characters were great. Some characters were terrible. The story alone was terrible. But you have to blame the writers. Is it just pure laziness? or are they just trying
Lost
to? Are they
laziness.
just trying to rush this to get Henry Cavill out of here and get Liam Hemsworth in?
It felt they were doing diversity hires on things as well at times. It felt like even when you looked, I looked into the characters that they were based on. There were certain characters that were scarred and messed up and stuff. They weren't doing that. They were trying to make it like this fancy world. And like, this is the thing. Some of the mages were brilliant. Yennefer's sort of the mage that saved her. She's brilliant in it. There's actually some really good actors in it, and there's some very good action at times. And I'm like, why? What are we getting this? Like, even the Wild Hunt. Spoilers here now. The Wild Hunt was made out to be this massive danger coming along. Geralt sends them back with one bang.
Yeah.
I was looking at it, the previous season. Loads of Witchers died, tried to close the portal.
That's what I'm saying. Like, do you think?
Bang, they're gone.
Do you think it's just?
We should be worried. Bang.
Do you think this is just pure pure laziness from the writers?
Laziness. Just give Liam up a minute to recollect himself.
But like, that's.
I calm down, Liam. Now the thing is, but yeah, I did think it was laziness. I thought there was so much moderate stuff put in that I was like, I can't do this. And to be honest with you, I've had more fun doing this video than I did watching season 3. So if I'll leave it at that, we'll leave it at that.
That's why it's. I wouldn't even sit down and watch it, which I don't.
See,
If you're out there watching it, don't. This is actually funnier than watching the Witcher, to be honest. Paul just gave a great description there. That's why we're laughing. Like it's something that was so fantastic, and the hype for something that was so real, and just pure laziness from the writers.
Well, look at this. We've got the Witcher. He doesn't talk much. He fights. He's an animal. He's got all these powers. He takes zombifies himself and takes things out of it. And we say, what do we say? Let's have him dancing for a half an hour. I'm like, I get why you got the story along, but I was like,
if you actually believe it, I think if they'd actually gotten the writers in from the Vikings and stuff, they'd have done much better.
I think this could have been so much better.
Or Game of Thrones.
This comes back to a problem we were talking earlier about, and it's that some of the people that are in charge of these productions, they don't understand the source material. Like, put it this way, I wouldn't want to give a writer and a director a Superman project if they've never looked at a Superman cartoon
Or even read the
film
comics.
or a comic. You'd kind of say, well, I'm going to come on with this idea. You go like, yeah, Superman's a bin man. You go, why? Well, we want to show this about this, and we'll have a protest down the road. You're going like, this is meant to be Superman. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
If you want to put in your modern ideas about life and society, create new franchises. Stop ruining the old ones. You know? So, we'll leave it at that. And
we hope you got a laugh out of this, to be quite honest with you, because we all really did. So, yeah, we leave it at that anyway. So, thanks again for watching.
Yeah, and best luck. Like, share,
if you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a comment. If you have your opinions about the show as well, let us know what you think of how it is. Or even give your opinion of what could happen in part 2. Will there be an improvement? Is part 2 going to be worse than what it was?
Yeah, and then there's season 4 where Liam Hemsworth comes in.
Baby Thor.
And nobody says anything. Everybody keeps calling him Geralt, and you're going, he's not Geralt.
Something different about you today, Geralt. Do you know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Yennefer, did you shave?
But no, thanks again, and like, subscribe. Appreciate all of it, right?
Best of luck. Bye.